Hello, gorgeous ladies of the Mentorship Masterclass. Today is day two of the Mentorship Masterclass. If you were with us yesterday for day one, or if you've caught the replay, let me know that you're here and ready for day two. If this is actually you just jumping in with us and it's day one for you, let me know that this is you just jumping in, so I have an idea who's been watching from the beginning and who is here ready for day two. Today's gonna be big. It's gonna stir you and your feelings. Get ready. Get ready. So we posted a homework thread yesterday, and I've been very impressed with the answers and the introspection and the awareness of I still have some healing to do, or I think I can heal and play at the same time, or bring it. I'm ready. I've loved all the levels of answers, and I love that you guys responded and you really took that seriously. It says a lot about you, so thank you for doing that. I'm excited for today. Let's see who's here. Wait, the ending of this always gets me. So intense. Hello, Monet. Hello, Shani. Hello, Shannon. Carlene. Hello, Medina. Anna, Michelle. Echo, ready for day two. Hello, Devon. Nicole. Hello, Sarah. Sharon just finished day one. Happy to be here for day two. So perfect. Hello, Rochelle. Hello, Roizen. Here for day two and ready. Yes. I'm so happy you enjoyed yesterday. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Bobby Joe. Hello, Michelle, Kimberly. I love you. Hello, Tara. You're ready? But still don't like to lose. I know. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy, Yankee, and I'm so happy you're back. Hi, Hemi. Ooh, that's awesome, Bobby. Hi, Diane. It is Diane's birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Diane. We love you. And happy new moon. Happy new moon day. Happy Diane day. Happy new moon day. Hello, Chelsea. So happy you're here live. Hello, Loida. Hello, Sylvie. Good afternoon, Tandy. Crystal back for day two. All right. Let's dive in. So yesterday we talked about losing. Mindy, hello. All right, I'm going to focus on the training or else I'm going to get too distracted. But hello, everybody. I'm so happy to see you. I love you. You're beautiful. You smell nice. Now let's go. So yesterday we talked about losing. And I know we don't like losing. We don't like losing. It is normal not to like losing. It's part of the thing. We play because we love to win. We play because we love the game, but we've also got to understand it is possible that we're going to lose. This is the emotional intelligence part. So emotional is something that we all are. I'm emotional when I'm happy. I'm emotional when I'm sad. I'm emotional when I'm mad. I'm emotional when I'm eager. I'm emotional when I'm scared. But emotional intelligence comes from understanding my feelings. An emotionally intelligent woman is such a safe space, because it's I could be mad, but in my anger, I'm aware. The most unsafe spaces are the women who are not aware that their emotions are in fact a trigger, that their emotions are in fact their experience of their trauma, their pain, their fear, their whatever it is, and that it's never actually someone else's 100% fault. Now, this is a big thing. This is a big claim, because there are abusive people, narcissistic people who can literally manipulate you and drive you they can get an emotional grip onto you. They can create a lot of turmoil in your system. So when you're being emotionally abused, this is different. Right? If you're being emotionally abused, that sometimes you cannot even realize that it's happening to you. And then you wake up after a decade and you're like, what the heck just happened to me? Where have I been? You can literally be so emotionally manipulated that you don't realize that this is happening to you. But in most of the cases, because we live in a world where there's a percentage of the population that does go into that manipulative side, but the majority of the population isn't. We're just all triggered. And we're just all a little wounded. And we just all haven't quite figured out yet how to not let the small child inside of us run the adult show. So I hear words being thrown around a lot, like my ex was a narcissist, or that woman's manipulative, or this or that. Those titles, those labels that we put on people, we do have to be careful with them, because although someone may act in a way that is narcissistic, or although someone may act in a way that is manipulative, labeling someone because of some parts of their behavior actually is really unhealthy for the world. We're labeling a lot of people that haven't actually been diagnosed that way. So what we want to do is we want to really, as much as possible, take our power back in our experience of other people's trigger. Because most of the time, that's what we're facing. We're not actually facing an abusive person. We're facing a person who's abusing because they're triggered. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. So what we're seeing a lot is women, and I work a lot with women who are terrified of putting one step out of place because they're afraid that someone's going to call them something and label them something that they will never be able to get away from. People make mistakes, people act in anger, people are manipulative when they want to get what they want. So labeling a person that you are this way because you acted this way is not always the truth. There are people that are trying to figure themselves out and in the process are hurting people. This happens. Is it right? No. But labeling them with a mental illness, that doesn't work either. So we have got to be able to handle ourselves where in the majority of the cases, and there are always exceptions, in the majority of the cases, what we're dealing with is just triggered human beings. So emotionally intelligent humans understand that when they're being attacked, we're being attacked by a triggered human being. So if the triggered human being creates a trigger in us, we're literally having a triggered conversation with a triggered person. Nobody's right or wrong, it's just a mess. So our job is to be aware of our feelings. Emotional intelligence does not mean you're not emotional anymore. It means that you're aware of your feelings. Whoa, that person makes me so mad, but I'm aware of my feelings. It's probably a projection. I'm triggered by something that's been happening for me for a very long time. This person reminds me of my ex. This person reminds me of my dad. This person reminds me of this. Okay. I am aware of my feelings and I can choose my behavior in the moment, or I can at least recognize my behavior close after. This is emotional intelligence, and it's what we strive for, but it's not easy. Because when emotions are high, intelligence is low. The part of our brain that's really logical, it kind of gets erased by the part of our brain that's emotional. When we get emotional, it's like, whoosh, the pressure rises and all the logic goes out the window. So in order to be able to remain intelligent while emotional, this is one of the greatest works of our lifetime. It's very difficult to do this. When we're feeling angry, when we're feeling triggered, when we're feeling bullied, when we're feeling like, this feels so real. Like I feel it in my body, I see it, I feel it, it's true, it's real. This person did say this to me, so they are this way. It all feels so real. And the fact is, the most powerful personal power comes from our ability to notice that most of the time when a person is being rude, abrasive, a person is being triggering, a person is being whatever it is that they are, they're coming from a triggered place. So do I just immediately let myself go into my trauma when you are bothering me? Is that the only reason I need to let myself go off the deep end? So my most difficult work here during my evolution in the Alpha Femme brand as Melanie Ann Layer, like my greatest work for me has been this one, the trigger wound. When someone gets mad at me, when someone gets upset, and they're in any way, shape, or form abusive, bullying, trying to make me feel guilty, if I feel manipulated, any of that, my anger rises like heat in a kettle. I can feel it in my body like. The 12-year-old version of me that promised herself that when she was a grown-up, no one would treat her like this. She's like she has very hard time not saying all the smart things my angry brain comes up with. I gotta breathe. The mean girl that's triggered, that wants to just say things, she doesn't go away. But you get to decide whether or not you're gonna let her out because you think you're allowed to, because you're triggered. If everyone were self-responsible enough to recognize that they're being triggered, then we would have the wherewithal to take a breath before we pop. And we would live in a very different world. But most of the people on the planet have never done emotional intelligence work because it's not taught in schools. It's not really taught in the workplace unless there's a problem. And by the time you're like 25, unless you really want to change, there's no amount of someone calling in a team meeting to talk to you to, when you're angry, here are 3 steps you can take if you're not really interested in changing. So the personal development thing is such a powerful thing because for those of us who are actually ready to change, this work feels like a breath of fresh air. It's like, whoa. Now, to be a mentor, there's a level of expectation on a mentor. And what I mean by that is that when you choose your mentor, you expect, especially in the personal development world, you expect that your mentor has a certain level of emotional intelligence and that you're not gonna trigger the snake, that you're not gonna have your mentor that a lot of people will put on a pedestal get mad at you. That's impossible. They're supposed to be magic, like a unicorn with no feelings. Have you ever watched Hell's Kitchen? Chef Ramsay is a mentor. And if you've ever watched a person almost die for overcooking a scallop, it's next level. This guy's patience is about equal to like that of a small child who's been taken her binky away. Like he has no self-control. He looks like he's gonna pop. Like it's raw. Like he loses it. There's no connection to humanity. He's gone. You overcooked the salmon. This halibut is raw. This thing is not cooked through. It's overcooked. What's wrong with you? Smacking the food, throwing the food, kicking the... Whoa. This dude gets mad. He is so passionate. He gets mad. He's like, listen, I am playing with you. You're about to be the lead chef in my restaurant. You're giving me this. This is your best. You're a donkey. And that's the kindest thing he calls people. This dude, he gets mad. Now, if you take a person who decides that they want to become a cook, and they're like, I think I would love to become a chef. I think I'd like to open my own restaurant. I've never cooked before, but I think I'd really like to try. And Chef Ramsay, well, you know, he's the best. So I think I'm gonna go on Hell's Kitchen so that I can learn how to be a cook. If you have had any level of trauma in your life, this man will make you break down like a 3-year-old within 5 minutes. When he calls your food disgusting, when he literally spits it out in the garbage, When he calls you a donkey or something else awful, when he starts swearing F-bombs at you and tells you to get out of his kitchen, when he tells you that you're crap, that your food is awful, that you're a loser, you don't go to Chef Ramsay. You don't go to Chef Ramsay when you want to just learn how to be a cook. You go to Chef Ramsay when you want to play the game of winning Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen. So sometimes I see the people who sign up for this show and they get so sad and hurt by this man yelling at them. And they're like, I didn't come here for this. And I'm like, this is season 5. Have you ever watched the show? What are you doing? Did you do no research where you're just like, I want to be a cook. I choose this. This'll be fun. Like this guy is gonna rip you apart to see if you can handle pressure for fun. Have you not watched the show? How are you shocked? So when you decide to come play where the pressure is high, where the triggers are real, you've got to be aware of what game you're playing. Now, in the coaching industry, you're not going to get that because that's not, I mean, it depends, right? So the very masculine energy, you know, you got to do this and you got to hustle and you got to make that money. Like there are those kinds of mentors, very masculine energy, you know, push, push, push. In my world, you're not going to experience that. You're not going to experience being yelled at. You're not going to experience being called a donkey or laughed at. You're not experience any of that. But you're still going to get triggered like crazy. The thing that's going to trigger you, though, is that there's going to be another woman that's doing better than you. As a matter of fact, there's going to be 100 of them. On your most vulnerable day where you feel like nothing's working and you would really be able to have the excuse that it isn't working for anybody, 20 women will post that they've just had their biggest day, biggest month, biggest week of their life. And you're going to be like, and then worse, I'm going to celebrate them. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. And you're going to be like, this place sucks. This is a totally different kind of trigger. But you've got to be aware of the game you're playing because the trigger is real. So you cannot enter a world like this and get mad or get frustrated at the people who are succeeding or at the people who celebrate big things because you haven't yet done the inner work. When you feel upset and you feel mad, you're allowed. But emotional intelligence looks like, of course I'm upset. This is the game I'm playing and I want to win it and I'm watching other people win. When you watch the Olympics, if you were to hone into on like Olympians training, they want to win. Think anybody wants to lose at the Olympics? They train and they train and they train like crazy to win. One person wins the gold. And then there's silver and there's bronze. The person who wins bronze lost. But they won the bronze medal in the Olympics. But they lost. That level of loss is different than the person who came last at the county fair. Like Uncle Jim won. Like Uncle Jim finished before you in the potato race. And that's really hard to handle. That's a different kind of failure than bronze at the Olympics, but it's still losing. You gotta be able to lose like an Olympian to play in the field of mentorship because you're still gonna lose sometimes. But you're going to lose like a bronze medalist in the Olympics. Not like coming last and watching Uncle Jim cross the finish line before you and being like, what is wrong with me? because that's sometimes very triggering, very difficult. And even then, you were born worthy and nothing has changed. However, I can understand that you question yourself. When overweight Uncle Jim with a bum knee finishes the race before you at the county fair race. I get it. But when you come third place bronze in the Olympics and you're still upset, you got to learn to lose like an Olympian. What does this look like? Who here has ever been mad at themselves for not hitting a goal when literally the thing that you did manage to do, if you would have been able to do that 2 years ago, you would have passed out in pride? Like, let's say, for example, you're used to having 30K months, now you had a 20K month. Oh my God. You're used to having 60K months, now you've just had a 35K month. Oh no. You're used to having 6-figure months, now you've just had a $67,000 month. What am I gonna do? You're used to having 12K months, you just had a 9K month. Oh my God. You treat your failures like you're a failure. When literally 2 years ago, if someone would tell you, in 2 years from now, you're going to manage to do this, you'd be like, it's impossible, I'll never be able to do that. And now, if you miss it, you're the worst. I suck, I wasn't meant for this. If you were to watch the bronze medalist treat themselves like a failure, like, I'm a failure, I lost at the Olympics. I understand the feeling, because when you're training for gold and you get bronze, it's still a failure. But it's bronze at the Olympics. So you've got to learn to lose like a bronze medal Olympian. And this is what's going to change the game when you're saying to yourself, look, I'm training to be in the Olympics of coaching. And I am watching all these incredible women finish at bronze, silver, and gold. And I'm so frustrated because I want to be the one finishing at bronze, silver, and gold. And I'm not good enough. The fact that you're training for the Olympics puts you in a different league than you've ever been. You've got to be willing to understand what you're training for. So there's people here that are saying like, look, I'm at 5K right now. I would love a 9K month. And I have women who are freaking out about not hitting their 30K normal thing. What's the truth? Are you a failure because you're at 5K? No. Are you a failure because that you were at 35K? No. But is it possible that you feel like a failure? Yes. Yes, it is. So emotional intelligence is, I feel like a failure and I understand I'm not. Emotions are, emotion is disappointment, hurt, anger, frustration. Emotional intelligence is, I feel like failure, I understand I'm not. That is emotional intelligence. As long as you have the wherewithal to see, I understand. I feel this and I get it. Then you're not going to quit. I have had so many failures along the way. And now being in this mentorship position, I am so grateful for all of it. I'm grateful for wishing I could have a 1K month. I am grateful for 8.4 thousand and hitting a 6-figure year and still not being able to crack the code of a 10K month and being like, why can't I just make 10K a month? I can do the 6 figures a year, $8,400 a month. I can do it, but I just can't touch that 6-figure mark. I'm grateful that that was hard for me. In hindsight, in the moment, I was not. I'm grateful for that 20K month the first time it hit me like, oh my God. I'm grateful for all of the parts. Because now that I'm a mentor, I can with confidence speak to women at every level of their journey and know it in my body. Like, I know it. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to make zero. I know what it feels like to be the least paid person in the room. I know what it feels like to make your first 1,000. I know what it feels like to be proud of your 5K and afraid to say it because everybody else has made more than you. I know. I know what it feels like to watch people who are so successful and think that all the spots are taken. I know what it feels like. I know what it all feels like. So when I'm speaking to you now, I can hold everything you're going through. And I know what it feels like. It has been the truth for me. And I'm talking about money and evolution and growth, right? I'm not saying that everything you've ever gone through in your life, I understand, because I don't. Some of you have things in your lives I will never understand. But when I'm talking about the levels of income and the levels of money, I've been at zero, I've been at minus, I've been at bankrupt, I've been at sleeping in the car, and I've been at, oh my goodness, just manifested $1,000. And I've been at like, oh my gosh, 5K, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I've been at all the things. But when you get to the mentorship status, which means you've now walked through all the difficulties and you're standing on the other side and you're looking at your life and you're like, gosh, I'm so glad for all of it because I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing now without it. That's going to happen for you. So knowing that's going to happen for you, how do you want to live this bit? Knowing that one day, every single bit of this will be part of your story, will be part of the lessons you teach, will be part of what makes you an extraordinary mentor, will be part of what makes you able to charge more, will be what relates you to every person at every level, no matter what, no matter where. It's what will keep you humble and real, no matter how much money you make, because one day, you may make $1 million in a month. Heck, you may make $1 million in a week. And this will make it that you don't change your heart. Because for every woman that comes into your world and feels exactly what you're feeling right now, you won't feel better than her. You won't be like, I don't have time for you. Psst, psst. You'll be like, lady, you have no idea. I got your back. You got this. We got this. This is just the beginning. Trust me, I know. You don't give up, you're going to get it. Just keep going. This is part of your story. You will be able to sit and stand so strong because of these times. They're part of the journey. So how do you want to live them knowing you're going to tell the story about it one day? This is the making of the mentorship. The making of the mentorship is in the understanding that the whole journey becomes your credential. You get paid more as a mentor because of who you are. And all these things are part of who you are. Every failure is actually causing you to be able to charge more later. Every hardship you go through will make you richer tomorrow. Eventually, people will pay you more because of these things you've learned. It sucks today, but it's like an investment in the future. Your failures today are money in the bank later, because there's nothing like a person who's gone through what you've gone through and walked out the other side. Like, you went through this and now you're there. Can you tell me what you learned? What did you learn? Tell me. Yes, of course. We're actually building our credentials. There are the hours you spend in a classroom listening to a teacher, the hours you spend at home studying textbooks, the hours you sit filling out exams so you then have the credentials to be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer. And then there are the hours you put in life where you feel like a freaking failure, where you're triggered by everybody else's success, where on a Sunday afternoon you're listening to this Canadian chick on social media tell you how to not give up on your dreams, and one day you start to be paid for it. This is the school of life. Entrepreneurs get paid so much It is crazy. And the coaching world has more wealth available in it. I have clients that are literally ashamed of how much money they make. And I'm saying ashamed, like they won't let me celebrate them much. They're like, no, it's not good enough, man. It's only a $20,000 month. It's only a $30,000 month. I'm like, you realize that's more than $250,000 a year? There are lawyers and doctors that do not get paid that. And they're like, oh yeah. Because we're surrounded by so much excellence, we forget that we're playing in excellence. This coaching industry has the power to create so much wealth, it makes our head spin. Like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 months, yes. $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 months, yeah. Like millionaire status being a coach, yes. Six-figure months, yes, yes, yes. How? By becoming the one. Becoming the one who lives life, who learns from it, and who's able to help people transform through, like, I stand here on the other side of flames, right? There's flames. Life is like fire. And I walk through the fire. And I'm standing on the other side of this fire, like, and you're on the other side, and you're like, I want to walk through this fire. And I'm like, then walk. But what if I get burned? You'll be okay. But what if I'll be okay? How do you know? Because I'm standing on the other side. Oh my God. Can't you build something for me? Can't you put the fire out? No. But I can tell you from the other side of the flame that you're going to be okay. Okay. Keep talking to me and I'll walk. You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this. Through the flame. We're both on the other side of fire right now. And we look at each other and we're like, oh my God. And then someone else comes along. Oh my gosh, I want to be on the other side of the fire. Then walk through it. Can't you put it out for me? Can't you? No. We're not here to put the fire out for you. We're here to stand on the other side of the fire and keep talking while you walk through it. Because once you walk through the flame and you meet yourself at this level of power, you'll be like, I want the whole world to know. I want the whole world to know they can walk through the fires of their life. And they don't need someone to put the fire out. They just need to know someone made it to the other side of the flame. That's all. We're all walking through fires in our lives. There's fires, there's messes, there's things, there's all kinds of things happening all around us. Are you capable of walking through the fires of your life? Or are you waiting for someone to put the fire out for you? You don't need someone to put it out for you. You need to find your power. Saying I was able to cross that bridge because someone put the fire out for me is circumstantial power. The kind of power we're talking about here is the kind of power where you watch a woman walk through the flames and you say, okay, walk me through it, I'm coming. We don't need people to be less this way. We don't need people to, if she would just have said it this way, and if she would just have been this way, and if she could have just done it this way, then I could have ... If it would have just appeared this way, if I could have just had that, if somebody could have just done this for me, then ... That's circumstantial power. And when it happens for us, it is a blessing, it is a gift. And for a lot of us, we get a lot of those opportunities. But some people don't get those opportunities. So how can we possibly say the only way to succeed in life is with circumstantial power if we're watching so many people who don't have any of those gifts, any of those free passes? They're walking on a bridge on fire and they walk through the flames. So if they can do it, we can do it. But there's fire. I know. So what do? I don't know. There's fire. I know. She made it through the fire. So mentorship comes when you've already walked through the fire. Coaching kind of looks like, I'm going to teach you how to walk through the fire. Have you walked through the fire? Doesn't matter. I'm going to teach you how to walk. This is the proven system on how to walk through fire. And it can make perfect sense. You could have learned from someone else what the perfect system is to walk through fire. And you can teach it. Because it works. Because someone you know walked through fire and you were taught the method on how to walk through fire. But have you walked through fire? Doesn't matter. I'm going to teach you the 7-step system of how to walk through fire. That is coaching. And it's super valuable. The mentorship game, however, is I'm going to teach you how to walk through fire while I'm standing on the other side, just so that you know that it's safe, because I'm here. And that's why mentors are paid so much more than coaches. So the kind of coaching that I'm interested in is the mentor coach, the one that's walking the talk all the time. So when I speak about the coaching industry, I really hope in my heart, in my soul, I hope that we can get to a level of integrity where women are leading by example. I really believe that that's going to be the next level evolution of the coaching industry, that there's wealth beyond wealth for us, but it's going to be in the field where women are the mentors. It's the mentor coach energy. So what I want to help you with, what I want to help you build, what I want to raise the standard in your life is for you to really become a mentor in your energy and a coach in your understanding of the profession. Because I still coach, and I think it's so valuable. The mentorship that's just like, oh, I'm not going to tell you how I walked through the fire. I'm just going to tell you that you're going to be okay. That's like the wise, mentor, tell me how to walk through the fire. As the fire is the flame of the soul, and you're entering into the being of the universe, y'all shall succeed to pass. I don't understand. Yes, it will be so. But how do I walk through the fire? If it is the will to the thing of the shall to the way of the one of the thing, then you shall in fact pass. How did you walk through the fire? That's the mentor that doesn't charge any money. That's the mentor that's like, I am here as the wise presence in your life to show you that it can be done. And I won't charge you anything. I am a wise one. And if you walk through the flames and you'll survive the fire, then I shall teach you how I walked through the flames. Once I walk through the fire, you're going to tell me how you walked through the fire? Yes. Only those worthy of walking through the fire will know my way of walking through the fire. Only when you desire to walk through the fire more than you deserve to live and breathe will you know how I walked through the fire. That's the kind of mentorship that makes people go, why does it? I don't get it. So the mentor coach is the one that's walked through the fire and is coaching you to walk through the fire at the same time. This combination holds more wealth than any other profession. It makes no sense. Like, it's insane. Kevin and I a few weeks ago sat down and we looked at what the potential evolution and growth of this business could be this year. And when we looked at the numbers, it was like, we're hockey people. So it was like, the Alpha Femme brand could make more than like any NHL, like National League hockey player makes in a year. We were looking up net worths of actors, like actors that are very well known, as a matter of fact. And we're like, holy pickles. Doctors, lawyers, brain surgeons, plastic surgeons, like people who went to school for years and years and years, and I'm over here like, oh my God. And I'm looking at my clients make more than doctors and brain surgeons and neuroscientists and it's the greatest profession when it's done this way. Because it's not just gurus trying to tell you that their way is better. It's not coaches on the sidelines giving you 7-step things that have never embodied it. At this level of wealth, what you're really doing is you're becoming the walking embodiment of a woman in power. The infinite potential of the empowered woman. That's this block right here. So there will be coaches who coach How do you get more blah, blah, blah? How do you do blah, blah, blah? And they will make money. The last time I checked, 89% of coaches will never make six figures. 89% of coaches. And I know why. It's because they're treating it like a job. They're treating their business like a job. So they will not make six figures. Same as most of the people with jobs don't make six figures. 11% will make six figures and above. 1% will make $1 million and above. And then beyond that, the percentage is too small to calculate. I want to destroy those numbers. Or I want to completely redefine the coaching industry in a new meaning so that when I talk about the coaching industry, the alpha femme way, those numbers are completely different. I want six figures to be the first thing that we go for, and million to be the second thing, and eight figures to be the next thing. I want to create so much wealth because at this level of integrity and power and good that we do in the world, this is a place for wealth. But not just wealth, beautiful wealth, where every dollar that comes into your business is a woman with the courage to see herself as the greatest investment of her life. You activate power and potential in people to the point where the greatest thing they want to put their money on is themselves. Like, what a gift is that? You don't sell a pipe dream. You literally invite people on your magic carpet ride. You are living your dream life and you're inviting people to play with you, and you're willing to lead yourself through your fear, your pain, your trauma, your triggers, your anxiety, your not good enough feelings, all of that with them, because together we rise. We abolish the pedestal. We abolish this only some people are wealthy. We change that. We normalize wealth in the hands of women. We can all do this, but we've got to start playing at a mentorship level. And the mentorship level starts before the profession is ready. You have got to see yourself as a mentor in the making before the shoes fit. You've got to see your whole life, the whole trajectory you're on right now is building this outcome over time for you before the result is there. This is trust. Mentorship is feminine energy leadership, where you act in alignment with the thing you want to create, knowing for sure it's going to happen for you without having any evidence. That takes so much power. Personal power, not circumstantial power. Circumstantial power is you believe you're going to be a mentor once you've already been chosen to be a mentor and you're paid like a mentor. That's circumstantial power. I'm talking the power to believe that you're building this prophecy, that you're building this legacy, that you're building this outcome for yourself even before the result is fully there. But when you start leading yourself like it's inevitable, you're building the path. You're building the story. You're building the legacy. You're building your arsenal of teachings. You're building the stories you're going to get to tell. This is the making of. So mentorship is a self-appointed role that you've got to decide ahead of time that you're building. Like when a person decides they're going to be a doctor, they are investing, let's say, 10 years into that. They've got to be at the top of their grades in high school, to be at the top of their grades in college, to get to the top of their grades in university, to be selected in the top of the few who can make it in the thing. They've got to be aligned for that for years before someone gives them the certificate. They can't just decide they want to be a doctor and then be a doctor the next day. They got to decide before they were approved to all the colleges they wanted to be approved for. They got to decide before they're top of their class. They've got to be approved they've got to decide before. And then they walk into that person who one day wears a white coat. And they've achieved it. And it's the same thing. In order to achieve mentorship, you've got to decide this is your school of life. What makes a mentor worthy is the stories. Tell me one mentor that would be like the one you want to listen to that this is their story. Oh yeah, I'm a mentor. What's great about me though is there was never any problems, That's the best part. So I'm going to show you what it's like to not have problems. It's going to cost you $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Heck, I have no problems. It's going to cost you $25 million. And I'm going to talk to you about what it's like to have no problems. I've never had any problems, and I will never, maybe I'll have problems one day, because who knows? But up until now in my life, I've had no problems. So I'm the mentor that has no problems. So how do you make it through that? Oh, I don't know. Well, I'm having a really hard time. No, let's not talk about that. That's very low vibe for me. I don't know how to, I would rather not hear about that. Whew. Well, I have this real issue in my life. See, let's not talk about that, because that is low vibrations. And if we talk about that, we don't want to hear about that. Let's just not, we can't, la 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 la, you know? It's the mentor that's like, tell me. Okay, I hear you. Now what? I got your back. Something actually similar happened to me if you want to hear it. If not, regardless, I got your back. Let's go. I feel you. I hear you. Now let's go. The mentor that's been through it doesn't fear for you, because they're like, okay, I feel your pain. I may not have experienced what you went through, but I know pain. And I'm here. You ready? I got your back. Let's go. That's such a different feeling. So every single thing you are going through is making you a stronger mentor. And yeah, there are coaches that are like that, but they also have a bank account that is equal to that, and a lifespan to their business. Because it doesn't work like that. This is about real life. Love you, Nicole. This is about real life, and real life is happening to us. Hey, Robin. Real life is happening. What if I don't have the money to do that? Okay, you don't have the money to do that. What do you have the money to do? I don't have the money to do anything. Okay, what are the free masterclasses you're registered for? What are you doing? Oh, well, nothing, because what can you do? What's your best? I don't have time. None? No. Look, let me tell you all the ways I don't have time. Well, you've had time to tell me that. Well, yeah, but it's not the same. It is the same. You take time thinking about how much no time you have. So what are you going to do with the time? Instead of doing that, what do you do with your time? You don't have the money. How to use your time? You got to do something. I know what it's like to have no money. You want to know what I did with my time, though? All the moments of my life were about my development, until some money came, and then I spent it on growing, and then I did what I had to do. What's your best? What's your real, true best? Of course you have real reasons why you can't go all in. Of course you do. You're going to have to evolve. Maybe you won't be able to do the top thing you want to do right now. That's okay. But what can you do? Or do you go, well, I can't do the thing I really want to do, so guess it's just not for me. What can you do? What's your best? I got here doing my best. And sometimes that was a podcast or a YouTube channel or a book. Sometimes it was a $500 coaching program. Sometimes it was a $10,000 coaching program. Sometimes it was paying a coach in full. But those things happened in order of what I was capable of doing. This is why I keep offering these masterclasses. But I offer these masterclasses at this level, because if there's any chance that you're going to get to where you dream of going, you're going to have to get your butt into something like this. But I'm not going to give you the, vanilla entry level, everybody wins a trophy, which is what we're doing. And we're doing this to kids now so that they don't get sad. Everybody wins. We're all good enough, but not everybody wins. I don't know that this is the best message that we're sending. We're all worthy. We're all good enough for life, but not everybody wins. Not at the game of quality of life. And it's a lie to say that it's possible for everybody when it isn't. You've got to choose it. You've got to choose it to work on your triggers when you're like, oh my gosh. You got to choose it against a prophecy that tells you you can't. Like, oh my gosh. You got to choose it against generations of family members who failed before you. Like, oh my gosh. You got to choose it against your gender, your race. You got to choose it against everything that tells you you can't. Like, this is not everybody wins. But it's everybody who chooses to play has got to be willing to face their... If you haven't done my latest calibration key, the self-fulfilling prophecy, I urge you after this 3-day masterclass to take it. Like, it'll anchor in so much of what we're talking about right now is to set your soul on fire. Our job is to realize that there will always be real reasons that this doesn't work. And for some, the reasons are so much harder. We're walking a world where we have no idea what people are going through. And then some people are going through things that we will never in our entire world comprehend. So how do we, as a world, rise together? It's going to be one person at a time. We've got to break down the standards of like, it's easy for these people, it's hard for these people, these people are do it effortlessly, these people don't. It doesn't work. It's got to be personal power, because circumstantial power is what got us in this mess. I'm interested in personal power for women because circumstantial power will always be easier for certain people. Circumstantial power is you've already had an amazing education. Your family will support you in whatever you want to do. You've got a family that supports you. You live in a good neighborhood. You're recognized as a leader already in your field. You've always been a leader. You're eloquent. You're well-spoken. You've had good grades at school. You had a private education. Like, circumstantial power are little things that some of us on the planet get, that not everybody gets. So the personal power is no matter what. Personal power is what makes us all equal playing ground. So one of the big things that I learned this last year that I thought was such an incredible example is like, people aren't equal, and equal opportunities don't really exist. And there was this design that I saw, and this was during Black Lives Matter when it was really, really powerful last year, and we were really standing for big things, when it was the forefront of the game for so many people. This graphic was everywhere, and I loved it so much because it really gave me such a powerful visual. But it was like people that were trying to watch a ball game or something, and there was a fence, but there was a dip in the fence. There was a dip in the ground. So some people were standing on higher ground, they could see over the fence, and then some people were on lower ground and they couldn't see over the fence. So they were saying being equal means everyone's allowed to stand at the fence to look at the game. That means we all have equal rights. But equitable means the ones that are actually standing in the lower ground get a booster. It isn't necessarily fair, because if it would be fair, everyone should get a booster. But there's people who don't need the booster. They're standing on solid ground where they can see above. So what we want is a world of personal power. And a world of personal power means that no matter where you're standing, you're not going to rely on circumstantial power. You're not going to rely on circumstantial power, because we don't all have that. So as a mentor, my greatest gift in the last year, I think, was understanding the difference of circumstantial power and personal power. The times where in your life everything is stacked against you and you go inwards and find your fight instead of looking around you to find your circumstance. This is how I feel I can speak to women of all color, of all sexual orientation. This is how I feel like I can speak for all women when I say I'm going to help you tap into your personal power, because I'm very well aware that your circumstantial power may be entirely different from mine. And I'm going to sit with you in that. I'll never understand your circumstance, but I have found power in my moments in my life through circumstantial power, and I have found power in my life through personal power, and I know the difference. So I'm going to stand for women reclaiming their personal power, because that's where mentorship will be mentorship for all women. This is how this industry will be an industry for all women, is when we tap into our personal power, not our circumstantial power. Every time you want to say, yeah, but the thing is, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have that, there are women who have succeeded without it. There are women who've succeeded with way less. There are women who have succeeded. If you would have been put in that situation, you wouldn't have even tried. Find the fire. There's a fire. Because if this were based on circumstances alone, we're going to continue to perpetuate a problem on the planet that is way too old already. That some people make it and some people don't because the circumstances are easier for some. Let's not even go there anymore. Mentorship is about personal power. And if we stand for that, we're going to change very big things on the planet. So what we want is to enter this agreement of I am a mentor, understanding that the world is going to throw you a bunch of not pleasant things sometimes. But if you only succeed because the circumstances were right for you, then to be honest, you don't really own your place as a mentor for all women. A mentor for all women is a woman who understands personal power. And in order to be faced with your personal power, you've got to understand what it looks like to defy the odds in any way, shape, or form. If you've never stood in your greatest fear and conquered it, how can you be a coach for all women? If you've never had to face feeling like it's impossible for you and still managed to go through it, how will you be a coach for all women? You can't. Because even when you have done that, you still won't be able to understand. So if you haven't at least faced your greatest pain, your greatest fear, and thrived in the face of it, how are you ever going to look a woman in the eye with the most unfair advantages and tell her she can do this? So we've got to do this for us, and we've got to do it for the world. That when it's hard, it matters more. We don't need to attract pain, and we don't have to attract problems, but when they do show up, we've got to take it like a woman and rise. Not just for now, but for the story. Not just for now, but for what it means for every woman. If you see yourself and you take yourself like you're every woman, like that song, I'm every woman. If you take that power, then you don't give yourself the right to quit because the circumstances aren't right for you, because that's not for every woman. If it's for every woman, then in the moments where it's hard, you take one for the team and you rise. That is mentorship. Because one day when you tell that story, you will help more women than you could possibly imagine. This is the tiniest part we can do, just so you know. And I'm speaking to all the white women in my community. Like this is the bare bones we can do, is that in a moment where it's hard, we do not use it as an excuse. That's how we stand together, because we don't even know. There's so much circumstantial power in our life that helps us that sometimes we just crumble when it's not available to us. The strength, it comes with the ability no matter what, no matter what, no matter what, no matter what, no matter what. You take it like a woman, for all women. Because the closest we'll ever get to understanding each other is accessing personal power. Something that doesn't depend on circumstances. That's how we're going to change things. So the era that we're presented with right now is one where all women can end up in one same space and can learn together and connect together and do our very best to stand together, everyone going through what they're going through individually, not needing for it to be easy, not needing for it to be circumstantially easy, because we stand for each other. And every fear conquered is something for all women. Every pain conquered is for all women. This is what mentorship is. Mentorship is women leading themselves so that no woman on the planet ever needs to wonder if she can. And the most incredible part of it is we get to be wildly wealthy and free as we do it. And when it's hard, just believe. Just know that if it's hard, when you tell the story, you'll just touch more people. It'll get you through the hard thing. And when it's easy, you give gratitude. When it was effortless, you give gratitude. And when it's hard, you take it like a woman. You roll your sleeves up. You adjust your Wonder Woman band, and you go. And then we create a world that's different than the world we've had before. Are you starting to understand in your belly now what mentorship really means? Mentorship is the energy. Coach is the profession. I want to help you bring both together so you can be the strongest you've ever been, the most highest paid you've ever been, the most magnetic you've ever been, the most connected you've ever been, the most real you've ever been, the most genuine you've ever been, the most humble you've ever been. I want you to be able to hold it all, because holding it all is personal power. We do this, we change things together. It's the only way we do it together. Because individually we're the same, but as nations, as worlds, as genders, we're separate. We've got to do it for one woman embodied. Regardless of circumstances, tapping into her personal power. That's how we're the most together. Is in not leaning on what makes it easier for us, but instead anchoring into our personal strength and having it done no matter what. That's the power. Just the fact that you're here right now, and there's like 500 people who've listened to this message, gives me so much hope for the world. Because we have the power in this energy to do huge things. And as we do it, and we support each other as we do it, whoa, it's undescribable the magic that's going to start to happen on the planet. And I can feel the energy in the group. I can feel the buzzing. So what I would love for you to do today, the homework of today, and we'll put a thread there so you can message on it. And if it goes crazy, the Alpha team and I, we won't be able to answer to everything, but just the fact that as a group we come together with this, I think it's going to make a difference. On this thread, I want you to just tap into all the things that are already carving your mentorship on this planet. Those things that have been hard for you, if you see them like the things that are going to help you heal the world, because you were strong enough to survive them, they're your mentorship in the making. I would love to see those things. What are some of the things you can already see are your mentorship in the making? They're already part of your legacy. They're already building your personal power. They're already showing you no matter what. The hard things you've conquered, the things that you thought you couldn't and you made it through. Those things are building your credentials to be the kind of mentor on the planet that helps women succeed no matter what. So we're going to put a thread, and I would love to hear what you've realized, what's coming through you, what you've conquered, what you've healed, what you're coming through on the other side. What was your personal conquering? And there will be more, because mentorship is a life journey. It's something that chooses you, and then you choose it, and then you live your life in alignment with it. And the wiser you get and the older you get, the more self-actualized you are and the more successful you are. This is evolution and growth over a lifetime, because it all adds up and it makes you stronger and it makes you wiser. This is what we're building right now. So we're going to start that thread after this, and I want to hear your experience. Again, if you feel that there are women who should be here, please share the link. Have people come in and join the conversation. I really feel it's time for a revolution. It's time for a start, a conscious start for something that's been happening way too slowly to really make a big dent. For women to reclaim our power, personal power, no matter what, and start making things right. So we're going to put a link for the calibration keys. If you have not taken the calibration key, it's 2 hours and 22 minutes, and we're going to have a live Q&A in a few days. It's worth every penny. It's $222. It's absolutely amazing. And it fuels this conversation. I feel like it's such a great continuation to this. So we'll put the link to that. And those of you who are feeling the vibes of the coach program, how it works in accordance with this is I want to show you how to be a coach. I want to show you how to hold the profession while holding the standard of who you are, which is the mentor. As we said yesterday, it's not about what you do, it's who you are when you do it. But I want to be the mentor that shows you how to walk through the fire. I want to stand on the other side of the flame and tell you how I walked here. So this is the energy. You're the mentor and you're the coach. You know how to lead your people, but you're walking through it for you. And it's lifetime access. So even if you're like, I just don't know, I'm in the beginning, I don't know, lifetime access. And this is the last time I'm going to record the whole thing live. So if you want to be in my energy while I teach this revolutionary work, like this is the live version. If you want to be in it, we're also going to post a link to that. So we're going to do that as soon as I hang up here. I want to thank you so much for being here with me. This work changes the world. We do it for ourselves. We do it for each other. We change the world. For me, for you, for us. The affiliate link is pinned in the announcement. So if you want to be an affiliate for the Mentorship Masterclass, once you become an affiliate, if you share your link and people were to buy the coach program or the calibration keys through this masterclass, you would actually be able to earn a commission if it were the first thing they ever bought through the Alpha Femme brand. So if you want to become an affiliate, it's in the announcement section. Right now, coach is $4,444. It is a whole month with me. It's my biggest program. And 2 days after this masterclass, it goes up to $5,555. But it's lifetime access and it's live with me for a whole month, which is absolutely incredible. So if you want to jump in on that, you have until 2 days after this masterclass to get it for $4,444. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your magic. Thank you for your power. Tomorrow, we're going to bring this home in a whole other way, because what I want to show you tomorrow is how you start to have other people see you as a mentor. How do you start crafting that? What's the energy with people that starts to craft that response of mentorship? Where it's not just, well, now I'm a mentor, but no one can see it and no one can feel it. I understand that my journey's in the making, but I don't feel like people get it. How do we transition this from an inner game to like, I'm presenting myself in the world this way? So it's going to bring it all together in such an incredible way, and I look forward to that. Another thing that people have been asking me a lot about is my storytelling. So I've had a bunch of people be like, you should do, especially my Instagram, you should do a storytelling course. I have a storytelling course. So if you've laughed with me and you felt all the feels and you're like, gosh, I love the way she speaks, I have a speaking storytelling course called Le Narrateur. It's over 4 months. We have one module that's already done. It was last month and it's ready to be watched. If you sign up for it, you get to access that right away. And we have another one coming up on April 15th. Is going to be the second module of the Narrateur. So if you want to learn the art of storytelling and you've actually really enjoyed that one's $444. We'll post a link for that as well. Enjoy. Plug into the homework thread. Tell me what you've realized you've walked through. This is mentorship in the making. This is how we change things. So we're going to post the links in the group for you, Victoria. If you hashtag Mentorship Masterclass in the search bar of the group, what I've also made sure is that every single thing I post that has to do with the Mentorship Masterclass, the quotes, the lives, the everything, it's all going to be under the hashtag Mentorship Masterclass. So I'll make sure that everything's hashtagged under there too for easy finding. Okay. Thank you for being here. There are payment plans. Le Narrateur has a payment plan. The coach program has a payment plan, but calibration key is only one-time payment. Donc le devoir, c'est de vraiment regarder à l'intérieur de toi les fois dans ta vie où tu as vraiment dû découvrir ta puissance personnelle, puis que tu as passé à travers des choses vraiment difficiles dans ta vie, que tu as réussi à sortir de l'autre côté, parce que c'est ces choses-là qui déterminent comment tu es une mentor. C'est ton mentorat, c'est la façon que tu te présentes quand c'est difficile. Donc, les choses que tu as réussi à faire dans ta vie, même quand les obstacles étaient là, même quand tu n'étais pas supposé réussir, les choses difficiles que tu as réussi à faire dans ta vie, puis de les mettre sur le fil qu'on va mettre pour le devoir. I just joined the Narrateur. Magic in the making for sure. Yes. I'm so happy. All right. I love you. You're beautiful. You smell nice. And I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Bye.